like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of January 23rd, 2025 to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask our deputy clerk for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunter?
Here.
Deputy Clerk Richards here. Trustee Barry?
Here.
Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
And Trustee Scales is absent. Attorney Zemanek?
Here.
Village Manager May?
Here.
Assistant Village Manager Parker?
Here.
Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone and real quick, Trustee Scales, unfortunately his father passed, and I think he made every attempt to be here, but we wish his family well. Open forum, is anybody here, nobody here for comment? I'll close open forum, we'll move on to reports. I have a couple items. One is dementia-friendly Westmont programs. The library coordinates monthly dementia awareness programs, which are open to the public. Look for that information. It's found on the library website. New water rates. Check out the Winter 2025 Community News Magazine with information on updated village water rates and infrastructure updates. New water rates will take effect starting in February 28th. And also in that issue is information about the sales tax. The state of Illinois has collected a grocery sales tax of 1%, and starting next year, they're no longer going to assess that. And they assess that for every community, and usually there's a small administration fee assigned to it. We now will be able to get that 1%. So there's no change to the
It was always distributed to us, it's
Yeah.
just, it will not go through the state anymore.
So there's no change, the only change is we have to approve that 1%. I think the, in the book, it explained that extremely well. I think that's all I have. I go to Deputy Clerk Richards.
Thank you, Mayor. Village offices will be closed on February 20th in observance of President's Day. And that's all I have.
All right, well, I'll go to Trustee Barry for Community Development Committee Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I filled in for Trustee Scales today at the Community Development, and we had a big meeting. Joe had taken us through the 2024 year-end recap. There's going to be some downtown incentive programs. They're looking at a 3-tier program to help improve facade improvements, life safety, and others. So we encourage all downtown CBD businesses to look into that if they're looking to do improvements. And there's businesses, I believe even here tonight, West Suburban Insurance is going to take advantage of one of those. And then Jason was excitingly telling us about online permitting. And I think he basically guaranteed us by the end of March, right? Is that what he said? Yeah.
That's what I heard,
think
yeah.
Q1, that the online, the permits will be up and running. They're kind of fine tuning that right now. Go back, I'm sorry. Joe also informed us that they're fully staffed for one of the first times here in years. And then Scott had given us a zoning ordinance update. This is something that's been, almost a year in the making, or over a year, and it's getting into the fourth quarter of it. It's getting streamlined. There's going to be a lot of public meetings coming up. There's going to be some new zoning districts, some landscaping standards. People can build bigger garages. So we really encourage the public to attend these meetings and have input, especially if you have something in the future. I believe that's all what we covered tonight. I'm sure I may have missed a few things, but our next meeting on this will be April 17th, and then another one on July 24th and October 16th. Also, exciting news that Restaurant Week is coming up. The Westmont Chamber has announced its 9th annual Restaurant Week, February 20th to March 2nd. Visit westmontchamber.com for more info, and that is what I have for Trustee Scales.
I'm going to let you continue with public Police Public Safety Committee.
I didn't rehearse this one, Mr. Mayor. Our Police Public Safety Committee, our next meeting will be February 6th, and topics to be discussed at the next Police Public Safety meeting will include the 2024 Police Department Annual Report, the 2024 Westmont Employee of the Year, commendations for superior performance, and an update on e-bike enforcement. And that is all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee will meet again on February 3rd, and these meetings are being held at the library. It's a more public venue for us, so that's working out well. The holiday lights recycling continues. You can drop off your unwanted or broken lights up until January 31st at the library or the South Fire Department headquarters. And then lastly, the holiday tree pickup is through January 31st, and you can put out your trees with minus the lights and decorations to be picked up at the curb. That is all. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And Trustee Little, Administration and Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Our meetings scheduled for 2025 for the Administration Finance Committee are February the 20th, April 3rd, May 15th, July 10th, August 21st, October 2nd, and December 18th. If you need to hear those again, you can always look it up on the website for the village. The new Agenda Center. Residents can sign up via the village website to receive notices for agenda and minutes from the new portal. 2025 community events. Westmont Special Events has announced their 2025 schedule for cruising nights, Taste of Westmont, Creative Arts Network, and more. Visit the village website for more information. You can also visit westmontevents.com. Public Information Committee, the Village Communications Division hosted their first Public Information Committee meeting yesterday. This is an internal staff meeting in which members of the various taxing bodies and community organizations meet to share info regarding upcoming programs and events. This information is then reported out via various news releases and social media. We want to thank everyone that participated in this. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll add to that, I did attend yesterday virtually, and I think we had representatives from almost every organization, and I learned of events that are going on. It's very beneficial for everyone to attend and get good information. Larry, thank you. Done a good job. Trustee Nero, Public Works Committee.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick items. Our next Public Works Committee meeting will be March 20th, right here at Village Hall. And stay tuned, but we're going to be announcing our 2025 Public Work Open House date, which will be in springtime. So if you've been to those before at the new facilities, a lot of fun, a lot of good activities for the family. So expect more on that to come very shortly. And that is all I have, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And Trustee Johanna Guzzo, Fire Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our Fire Public Safety Committee meetings, the next one is March 6th. Then we also have one May 1st, August 7th, and November 6th. Each is scheduled at 4:30 here at Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. And the Citizens Fire Academy, sign up is open on the village website for the 2025 Citizens Fire Academy. Classes begin April 1st, so please check that out. And thank you, Mayor, that's all I have.
Well, thank you. We'll move on to items to be removed from the consent agenda. Anybody have any? Since they do not, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Thank you. Short consent agenda this evening begins with Village Board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the Village Board meeting held January 9, 2025. Next is Finance Ordinance Number 2 in the amount of $2,979,426.69. We have 4 purchase orders. First one is Village of Addison, $298,712.33. This is for our emergency dispatch and alarm system, consolidated dispatch. And this, wanted to point out that that amount, because we're on a calendar year and they're not, this is the amount was represented for all services between January 1st and April 30th. Next purchase order is Mead Incorporated, $130,000. This is an open purchase order for encumbering for services for streetlight locates and repair services. This is an annual amount that we would pull from. Next is Curry Motors, $61,499 is for a Ford Super Duty 250 to be used in the water division. This is replacing an existing vehicle at end of its useful life and is part of the vehicle replacement program. And it's also a state bid purchase. Last, fourth purchase order is HP Quincy Partners, $304,441.54. This represents the downtown TIF, the CBD TIF, the Economic Incentive Agreement for Quincy Station for the incremental property taxes paid during the prior calendar year. So for all of 2024, this payment was that amount, and it's a 10-year agreement, so this is payment 2 of 10. The total of those purchase orders was $794,652.77. Together with finance ordinance number 2, the total amount is $3,774,79.46. That's the consent agenda
Do I
tonight.
have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve is read. Little.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and second. Any questions? I have one, the $130,000 for Mead. Is that just an open one? We don't pay them that? We
Correct.
just pay them as they
You're
invoice?
just reserving the money, and then they'll have, each month they'll submit a bill, and then you'll pay that under the regular finance
Not
ordinance.
like a retainer, it's just they,
It's encumbering the funds for
Okay.
that purpose.
got it. Any additional comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. A, Downtown Incentive Program for fiscal year '25, annual budget and activity targets. Board to consider an ordinance adopting the fiscal year '25B Downtown Incentive Program annual budget and activity targets. I think we discussed this earlier, and I've got Director Hennerfein at the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So I'll be brief since we did discuss this at CDC. So this is the annual task that the board has, basically to set up the parameters for the Downtown Incentive Program for this budget year, which is that 25B budget year. We are looking at $250,000 of available funds for Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 grants. We are targeting the fire life safety, which is what we did last year as well. I can always elaborate if anyone has any questions for the attorney, because we did have 2 exhibits. There is one labeled FLS for fire life safety. That is the one that CDC agreed would be forwarded for consideration tonight. And I can answer any questions if anyone has it.
Do I have a motion to approve the ordinance?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and seconded. Anybody have any questions? Trustee Barker.
Mayor, I just want to comment that staff has done a great job with this, you know, across the board. It's a great program. People are using it. It's what we wanted. And I appreciate all the hard work.
Thank you very much, sir. It's not just me, a lot of people.
No, I know,
put time
staff. I
in.
said
Oh, your
staff.
staff's done a good
I
job.
know, I wanted to make sure I spread the credits.
Yeah, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, special use permit and B1 development permit request, 216 North Cass Avenue. Board to consider an ordinance approving requests from Cass Avenue Properties, which is LLC Dolce Vita Day Spa and Salon Smith LLC, Salon 4 at 216 North Cass Avenue for the following. 1, special use permits to allow both petitioners to operate a barber shop and beauty parlor located on the ground floor in the B1 Limited Business District. And 2, B1 development permit for both petitioners to operate a barber shop and a beauty parlor located on the ground floor. And I've got Director Hennerfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is a very creative use of a space that has, I'm going to say it's been vacant, but it's been filled with stuff for years. A lot of people know this is the building that used to have the clock on it. So it's been, it's had displays of musical equipment and bars on the front windows for many, many years, as long as I've worked here. The neighbor who runs and owns the building next door, Dolce Vita Day Spa, purchased the building, would like to expand some of his spa services into the building, and then also accommodate a local hairdresser in there as well. And I believe this is the hairdresser that used to operate out of the J. Wilder building, which, if you remember at the last meeting, we approved PostNet, which is kind of like a mailboxes, et cetera. They were moved out of that space and are occupying this space. It is a special use for the beauty salon, which they both are considered the beauty salon, but for two businesses. And then there is a B1 permit, which is that downtown development permit, for both of them to operate there as well. And I'll just note that later in the agenda, you'll see a downtown incentive grant request to put new windows in the front of the building as well. They are here. It was a positive recommendation from Planning and Zoning. I can answer any questions, or if you'd like them to come up, they can come up as well.
Let's get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion been made and second. Petitioners can come up and they can answer any questions.
Safe building, is that who that
Yeah.
was? Safe, was that the family? SAIF?
SAIF, yes.
These are, so introduce yourself and your business.
Yeah, so I've been here like 7 years ago. We applied for the same kind of permits for our first location at 218 to 20 North Cass Avenue. And so we renovated the building and it's operating very well. As I mentioned in the last meeting, we grew our base of customers like almost by 3 times. So we kind of got limited by the space. That's why we were talking to our neighbor, Mr. John, who owns the building at 216 North Cass. And finally, after like 2 years of going back and forth, we made the agreement. So meanwhile, we met Jessie that she was looking for the space to move her operations. So we thought it's a good idea to just combine, because we wouldn't need the whole building, but we can just, give the front space, which is around 500 square feet, I'm guessing. So we're gonna renovate the space for the use of the hair salon. Already applied for the building permits, and we're gonna use the back space, so it's around 1,000 square feet for the expansion of our spa. So that's simply the plan and why we are here today.
And I'm Jessie Smith. I've worked doing hair in Westmont. I worked at Karma Salon for 12 years, and then I was at J. Wilder Studios for 6 years. And we were happy there, but since that space is no longer available, we just wanted to find another space in downtown Westmont. So we're just a small salon, 3 hairstylists. We're all working moms, working part-time. So we're just, we found this space, so it'd be perfect size for us just to move our business and keep it in Westmont.
Yeah. Obviously, you like Cass Avenue because it's the
Yep.
third location. Any questions from anybody in the audience? Anybody, trustees?
It's just great that you're getting to stay in the downtown, so good. I'm
Yeah,
very
love
glad
it.
that all worked out and fell into place for you.
Yeah.
I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
New Business C, Downtown Incentive Program Grant, 4216 North Cass Avenue. Board to consider ordinance awarding a Downtown Incentive Program, a DIP, grant to Cass Avenue Properties LLC for the installation of new windows, glazing, and the front door at 216 North Cass Avenue. Director Hinterfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So we have 2 Downtown Incentive Program grant applications here tonight. This is a fairly small one, so this is the Tier 1 program. Part of taking on that building and wanting to get it ready to be used, because it hasn't had occupancy in there for many years, is that it's got the original front windows, single pane, and he's looking to replace those. So it's a fairly simple project. It's about almost a $13,000 project for him. The grant program, by its parameters, can fund 20% of that, which is $2,455. So that is the request tonight to be considered.
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion been made and seconded to approve. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business D, Downtown Incentive Program Grant for 17 North Cass Avenue. Board to consider ordinance awarding a Downtown Incentive Program, which is a DIP, grant to Cass Avenue Management Group, LLC, to install a water line and sprinkler system at 17 North Cass Avenue. Director Henderfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So this is the second of the two grants tonight. So this is actually a Tier 2 grant. So the Tier 2 grants are much larger, can top out just a little over $50,000. So this is one that is taking advantage of the fire life safety that we put in place last year. Although we have just approved the grants for this coming year, this actually came in last year. It's just getting approved tonight. So it is a installation at 17 North Cass. Everyone knows this is the West Suburban Insurance Agency. The building is owned by the family, and they are looking at putting sprinklers in the building. It's a mixed-use building and running a water line under Cass Avenue. The actual project in total is just under $75,000. The grant award, based on calculations, would be $50,258. That is 68% of their project, so that is a tremendous amount of funding that is coming through the village. So I think that we accomplished what we were trying to do when we did this. So we will have yet another building on the east side of Cass that will get sprinkled. I do have the Martins here, both Ron and Rick, if you want to bring them up and ask them any questions.
Yeah, bring him up.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him up. I want to see his money first.
Yeah.
I'm Ron Martin, and I think you all know Rick.
Yeah.
We're
Anything you want to add to that?
we're thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to, upgrade the safety requirements of the building. It's been a challenging process getting contractors in to give bids, or we probably would have gotten in a little bit earlier, but thankful for the village to be able to help us in this endeavor. Really appreciate that. It's going to go a long way toward upgrading and making the building a lot safer, tagged on to some of the other improvements we've been making over the building over the last few years, so.
Do you have an apartment upstairs?
We do.
So that's another reason it's good.
Absolutely,
You're
yes.
getting a sprinkle. And I'm glad our incentive brought you to do the life safety thing. It's great.
Yeah, it's a big undertaking without just,
That's the primary reason, because.
I figured that with you, yeah, it had to be.
Why you buy insurance.
It works.
So,
Any
very
other?
much thank you.
I don't know, Mayor, any other business,
yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, tell your brother to go.
I don't know why Rick came. Yeah. Thank you. Motion to approve, Nero?
Motion made to approve.
Second, Little.
Seconded. Anybody in the audience have a question? Anybody? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes. And again, thank you. Motion carries. Thank you for
very much.
doing this. Thank you.
Congrats.
All right, Rick. New business E, engineering agreement, Phase 2 design residential alley reconstruction. Board to consider ordinance approving an engineering agreement with Thomas Engineering Group, LLC, for Phase 2 design engineering for residential alley 7S reconstruction. I've got Public Works Director Reese.
This request is to approve the sum of $111,845 for Phase 2 design engineering. Phase 2 design engineering will include topographic survey, soil borings, detailed design, plan specifications, cost estimates, and bidding assistance. This alley is located between Quincy Street, 55th Street, Hudson, and Washington, and will be constructed in the spring/summer of 2026.
Great.
Any
I have a
questions?
motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Parker.
Motion made in second. Questions? How many more alleys we have?
There's like 17 total.
All right.
We've done 3.
All right. We're moving ahead.
We're
though.
moving. Yep, we do one a year,
Yeah.
so,
It's not cheap.
nope.
Consider we've been working on it for 30 years.
Yeah.
This is great program in progress.
But
Yeah.
the stormwater taxes helped a lot because of permeable pavers
In the downtown, yes.
in the downtown. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
and Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
New business F, IGA for police and fire dispatch services. Board to consider an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Addison for police and fire dispatch services through the Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center. Manager May. Or Chief Gunther.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Thank you, Mayor. This is a IGA that will cover the next 3 years, so this is similar to our previous IGAs with AC/DC. The first year for pricing is $826,079 with annual increases after that. And this is for police dispatch, fire dispatch, fire alarm monitoring, and answering of admin calls during normal business hours.
Do you know what the increase was? Is there,
Next year will be roughly $894,000, and the year after, $970,000.
was 7% or so, probably, 8. All right.
Our choices are limited in dispatching services.
Yeah, I know.
so
Yeah.
But they do a good job.
They do a great job.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and second. Questions? Stay there, because the next one's you two. Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll go on to new business G, surplus items from the police department. Board to consider ordinance to declare outdated, unused items from the police department investigation division as surplus. Chief Gunther.
Thank you, Mayor. There's a list of items that are listed in the packet for surplus. Basically, it's old, for the most part, camera equipment and surveillance equipment that's been outdated and antiquated and ready to move on.
Do you try selling them or just
No, they're not serviceable.
not worth?
Yeah.
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second Little?
Motion made and seconded to approve any additional. Again, this is a requirement. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business H, IMRF resolution. Board to consider a resolution relating to IMRF participation by elected officials. And I've got Assistant Village Manager Parker.
This is largely a housekeeping item. The Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund requires the board to do a resolution indicating positions for elected officials and whether or not they expect that position to require at least 1,000 hours of work. If so, it would be in the pension system. If not, it would not be. And so that's what we're doing right now. We've had a change in position of the clerk and also a change in duties of the clerk. There was some things that the previous clerk did starting years ago, kind of on a regular basis, coming in every day, that is no longer needed and won't be done by the next clerk, so their change in hours is appropriate.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second Little?
Motion made and second. Any additional comments, questions? This is pretty standard. Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo. Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. I, new business I, mayor's clerk's appointment. Board to consider a motion approving the mayor's appointment of Amanda Simsky, I heard that name before, to the position of village clerk. And I've got Miss
Yeah, I hope it goes well.
Simsky. Would you want to come up and give a little information before you vote to approve you? The name is familiar.
Ready to vote now.
I am Ginny's niece, by way of the name. My dad was mayor, and my grandparents lived in Westmont. I now live in Westmont, and I'm really excited to get to know everybody and become a part of the community. And yeah, I'm really honored to be considered, so really appreciate everything.
In April,
in April, I will be officially on the ballot to vote for me. This is just temporary for now. Great.
And I think I told Trustee Scales, it's good to have, not that I'm real old, but younger people get involved. It's very difficult to get, and you showed an interest, you contacted us a while back, so I think it's great that you're interested in village board, and it's a great step. If you like it, you may move on. So,
We'll see.
do I have a motion?
Motion, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and second. Any? No questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Congratulations. Next meeting, we will swear you in.
Okay, I'm excited. Thank you.
All right. Congrats.
That's where, yes. Miscellaneous. Trustee Barry, you got anything?
Mr. Mayor, I do, and I apologize for not getting it in my report, but Westmont lost a longtime resident this week, Mike Heffernan. A lot of people know the Heffernan family. There was 14 of them that went through the Westmont schools here, and they were all raised in a little ranch house right down the street. And when you think 14 out of that little house, but if you went to Westmont High School anytime from its start till probably the mid-'80s, you went to school with one of the boys or one of the girls, and Mikey had passed away this week, and his family's going to be in town and so forth, but long-standing family, and going to miss him for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Those families had 13 barons, Prozac's had 12, they were like farm.
There was not as much cable back
Yeah, I
then,
know.
Mr. Mayor.
Any other miscellaneous? Seeing none, then I do need an executive session, which we can adjourn to closed session to discuss the matters so permitted and may act upon such matters upon returning to open session. And tonight it's for the employment and performance of specific employees of the village pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act. Do I have a motion to go in executive session?
So moved, Barry.
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second to go in executive session. Roll call, please.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
And Trustee Little?
Yes.
We will be going in executive session. When we come out, there will not be any further business. So thank everyone for coming.